All right, guys, very good morning. Good morning. Good morning, online people. How are you all? Right. So, in the previous session, we had discussed the basics. So, today, let us start with a brand new topic, just profit and gains of business or profession, popularly called as PGBP, one of the most important chapters. There is no question in paper only in the whole of whether it's CA Inter or CA Final without questions on PGBP. In fact, the fact that we are studying all this is purely because to understand in depth this concept, PGBP, profit or gains of business or profession. So let's do some basics of the profit and gains of business or profession to understand what it is. And then we will move on to other areas. Many things to be discussed, obviously. All right, guys, very good morning. Good morning. Good morning, online people. How are you all? Right. So, in the previous session, we had discussed the basics. So, today, let us start with a brand new topic, or gains of business or profit and gains of business or profession, we'll be discussing popularly called as PGBP, one of the most important that is under 30 to 37 chapters. Then what do you mean by profit and gains of business or profession? The whole charging section, it's CA Inter or CA Final without questions on PGBP. In fact, the fact that we're studying all this is purely because to understand in depth admissible deductions, PGBP, then inadmissible gains of business or 38, 40, 48. So let's do some basics. Then miscellaneous provisions, of course. Profit and yeah, you know, presumptive taxation. 44 AD, ADA, AE, AB, BB, BBA, and all those things we'll be discussing. And the entire computation of business income, move on to that is 29, 30 to 43D. And of course, the important concept of depreciation and all those things will be there. Many things to be discussed, obviously. So as far as the basics are concerned, whether it is CA Final, CA Inter, basics are very, very important to understand regarding this PGBP. All right, guys. Very good morning. So good morning. Good morning, charging people. How are you all? Given in section number 28. Right. So in the previous session, we had discussed 30 to 37 chapters. Then what do you mean by profit and gains of paper only in the whole charging section? It's CA Inter or CA Final without questions on PGBP. Now, guys, please check. Is it fine? Is it fine, guys? Please check now. Is it okay? Okay. There was some issue. I just deleted that. All good? Okay. Super. Okay, guys. So as I told you, the first important thing now to look at is section number 28, profit and gains of business. Profit and gains of business. So let's see the charging section. Section 28, if you open the Bear Act, the following income shall be chargeable to income tax under the head profits and gains of business. So before that, understanding what it is, we need to understand what do you mean by profits and gains and profession. So if you see the term, just to give the basics, Calcutta Company Limited versus CIT Supreme Court decision 1959. It says the expression profit and gains has to be understood in its commercial sense, and there can be no computation of such profits and gains until the expenditure which is necessary for the purpose of earning the receipts is deducted therefrom. So profit is nothing but your entire revenue minus your expenditure is what this clear section has told about. Then with regard to your what do you mean by business or profession, etc., we'll see that also. Profession includes any occupation requiring purely intellectual or manual skill, just to understand. But anyway, if I want to break down all these things, let's understand. Yes. So charging section, profits and gains, section 28. So if I check the definition of income, yesterday we were just seeing In the introduction chapter also it was there in the last part. If you remember, in the introduction chapter, last part was there. So let's see that. In the end we saw there. Page number A14, if you remember guys, we saw here. Income includes profits and gains. So this is the entire, since it is already included profit and gains, this will come under PGBP head. This is nothing but section 28. What is profit and gains? Go to section 28. But is profit and gains part of income? Yes, as per 2 clause 24. So same thing, profits and gains. Income under 2 clause 24 has profits, gains, which is now connected to section number 28. Would gain and profit include losses also? Or in another way, if I ask you, does this income include negative income? Answer is yes. That's why they have used the word includes. If they had used the word means, then it would not include negative income. Since they have used the word includes, it will also include what? Negative income. So income under section 2 clause 24 includes, it will include what? Negative income. Profits and gains. So income 2 clause 24, profits and gains, section 28, all that you need to see. So basically guys, 2 clause 24, it will include under section 28 what? Profits, gains and losses. It will also include the losses, goes without saying. It will include very much part of the losses also. Now, three things. Because it is profits and gains of business or profession. So we need to understand three things. Point number one, business. Point number two, profession. And point number three, vocation. Three things are there. See, all the basics that I am doing now will not be relevant for the exam, in the sense that they will not ask you what is business, what is profession. But without understanding the basics, we cannot even enter into what is PGBP, and we cannot enter into what are the provisions of the law. So only when we start section 28, the section really begins. But we need to understand before even we start, what do you mean by business? What do you mean by profession and vocation? Business. Business and profession are mutually exclusive. Business and profession are mutually exclusive. Means what? Whatever is business will not be profession, and whatever is profession will not be business. That's the meaning of mutually exclusive. If you choose one, the other one will not be there. So you have business, profession and vocation. So business is mutually exclusive from profession, and vocation is a calling, which we will discuss. So profession and business, they are mutually exclusive. So what does it mean? If you see, business has a wide meaning. Anything and everything under the sun which is, organized in a way to earn money is business. So when you're walking outside, if they're selling during a rainy season, if they're selling umbrella, is that business? Yes. And during the hot season, if they're selling buttermilk, is it business? Yes. Everything under the sun will be called business. So first of all, there is a wide meaning to the term business, and there has to be relevant effort for that particular business. Then returns must be given, proper returns you should get, and it can be organized sector, it can be unorganized sector also. That is also called business. It can be an isolated event as well. That is also business, which means only during one day, if you sell certain things, let's say there's a marathon going on, you are very, very smart about it. Marathon, they have not organized anything, and you are now selling water, and you are selling, let's say, ice cream, whatever it is. Is that just one day you do this? Is that business? Yes. Or there is a 2-day fest somewhere. You'll go and put your stall. You'll install your stall to sell your products. Just one day. That's it. So you would have seen many potluck, other things will happen where you can cook from your home and go and do it. So like that you go and sell and make a killing. You sell and you make a profit of 40,000 rupees. Is that business? Yes. So everything that you do is business. where you do it, put in the efforts and for some returns, monetary gain. It could be in the organized sector, it could be unorganized sector also. So the word business has a very, very wide meaning. And business and profession are what? Mutually exclusive. Business and profession are mutually exclusive. On the other hand, the word profession, when I use the word profession, there will be a specialized skill set in the word profession. So what is profession? It could be usage of intellectual power, or it could be just intellectual skill and labor. So for example, intellectual example is what? CA, CS, lawyer. So these people are, uh, expected to have a certain degree of intellect. Whether you're a chartered accountant, company secretary, lawyer, then it's called intellectual profession. That is specialized skill set. Or it could be skill, that is labor, that is your surgeon, sports person, all these things. This also will be called as profession. So you have business on the one hand and profession on the other hand. So both are mutually exclusive. So if you are doing business, then you are not into profession. If you are doing profession, then you are not into business. So you need to see that. So once you become a chartered accountant and once you start practicing, then it will directly come under profession. On the other hand, as a CA, if you are doing some business, correct? So that guy Aman is there, no? Boat, CEO of Boat, the entire, whatever, Boat, yeah, for your audio, that is your speakers and headphones, earphones, all those things, those electronic items. So yes, that guy is doing business. So he is not into a profession, he is doing business. So it depends on what you exactly do, business or profession. On the other hand, you would have heard one more dialogue called vocation. Vocation is your passion, it is your calling. Photography can be vocation, singing can be vocation, or even for that matter, going from place to place, speaking about something that you really like and trying to not influence people but share your journey. That is also a vocation. So vocation is your calling, your inner calling. But then nowadays there is a thin line of difference between vocation and business, or vocation and profession. So like for example, if you go and speak about God, it actually becomes a business or it becomes a profession. And there are classic examples. There was one guy called Rarara Baba. I don't know if you know or not. If you just search on YouTube, you will know. You just say Rarara Baba. His job was to go to places and speak about God. No, let's not get into the religion part and all those things, but basically he was into conversion activities. So, I mean, why I'm using Rarara Baba, I think his name was some Sebastian Martin or some guy. So, why I'm telling the name is important because that guy is a CA. Sebastian Martin was a chartered accountant. So he used to go to all these places and speak about God, and he had this distinct thing. Rarara used to tell. He used to put your hand on the liver and say, today, now from now, liver is fine. Kidney, it's okay. Now, the thing was, is this a vocation or a profession? That's the best part. Now, he's not doing CA, so forget about CA. He's a CA, that's all, but he did not do any of these things. Now, that is the question. Will it become a business? Will it become a profession? All those things. And Nityananda is there. Then we have, Isha Foundation. All these, now Sadhguru had a calling that he had to do good for other people. But is it a business? Is it a profession? Right? So I'm not here to talk about any religion or anything like that. I'm just giving an example. All these Babas. You have your Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, you have your Sadhguru, you have this fellow, Rarara Baba. You have so many fellows. You have your Nityananda. He has a bloody country only. Now, is that a vocation or is it a business is what we need to see. Now, as I told you, that's what nowadays there's a thin line of difference between business and vocation. Everything seems the same, it's merged. Anyway, but they're saying vocation also is a word which is of wide meaning. And vocation also very much fits into the scheme of business or profession. The vocation also comes there only. So you have business, you have profession, you have vocation, and all those things. So in business and profession, they are mutually exclusive. Business has a wide meaning. There are effort, returns, organized sector, unorganized sector. Specialized skill set is there. It can be intellectual or it can be labor and all those things. Got it, guys? So this is a basic difference. But ultimately, everything is taxable. It can be a continuous affair. It can be an isolated affair. Everything is business. That we need to understand. Online people, are you with me? Yes. So those are the things which speak about business. Now you would have seen Nikhil Kamath and Nitin Kamath. They are the owners of Zerodha. Now are they qualified as such? No, they're just BCom graduates. If you think about real qualification. But then they understood the problem statement that it's very difficult to, open a account in a demat account and then start trading. And they provided a very simple solution, Zerodha. And Zerodha now has toppled everybody to be the number one website or app for creating your, demat, and also start trading basically. So very simple trading platform, very transparent. So yes, so is that business? Definitely yes, no problem. Now, again, what is the taxability portion that I need to see? I need to see the taxability portion whether it's a capital receipt or whether it's a revenue receipt. If it is a capital receipt, it is not taxable. So basics of which we studied in the basics yesterday in the introduction chapter. And revenue receipt obviously is taxable. Revenue receipt is taxable. So anything that you take, so if you see the charging section, if you come to the PGBP notes, there you go. You see, now you'll understand. Let's read quickly. B1. Business to include any trade, commerce or manufacturing activity. And as I told you, even an isolated transaction is a business. One element is a business. No problem. A single purchase may be considered as a business, provided it can be demonstrated that sale was not for the purpose of realizing capital appreciation, but I want to convert investment into stock in trade, forming part of business, whatever it is. Somebody bought one car and then he wanted to convert that into a part of his business. So there is only one car in the world, let's say, which is only one unit they have produced and it's exclusive, only one, collector's edition. This fellow has bought it and now he is now renting it out. 1 hour, 40,000 rupees, whatever it is, just for the feel of it. There's only one car in the whole world. Is that? Yes. Everything is business. In the entire year, I sell only once. Is that also business? Yes. The onus is on the department to prove. Now, I can say, no, it is not business, just a one-time thing. But the department has to prove that whether it is adventure in the nature of trade. So, if any notice is given, who should prove it? It is the income tax department, not me. Right? Yes. That is regarding what, guys? That is regarding business. Next, manufacture. So, when I say basically business or profession, they will also trade, they will also manufacture. So manufacture means transformation of an object into a new object, having a different character and use. So everything will be called as a manufacture. So for example, in a pressure cooker, if you put the pressure cooker by itself is useless unless you have that cap. The cap is the main thing. It's a very small thing, but it's the main thing which makes the pressure cooker works. Otherwise, it's a useless piece of equipment, pressure cooker. You can just take steam, that's all. Nothing else you can do. You can't cook, you can't do anything because the main thing is the pressure that it creates. That is that thing, small cap. Now that cap, if you are manufacturing, is it called manufacture? 100% yes. Because it is now aiding in working of an entire element. It's not a small component, one of the most important components. Projector, all the outer covering and all is waste. The real deal is only the bulb. Correct? If you remove the outer covering also, only use the bulb also, it will work. Outer covering is only for protection. So the bulb only goes. It's as good as the entire projector going anyway. So I need to see, even if it's a small object, this transforms into a new object. Like a cap, if you put on the pressure cooker, on a cooker, it actually becomes a working pressure cooker. Still that will be called as manufacture. Right? Then profession will include vocation now. They have defined profession. Profession includes vocation. I already explained to you what is vocation. Any activity on which a person spends predominant part of his life to earn income for livelihood is called vocation. So it starts off as a calling. It only used to be a calling before, but now I told you it has become a part of life. If you are a singer, professional singer, that was your vocation, which is now part of profession. If you are a photographer, it is your vocation which has now been part of your profession. So now there's a very thin line of difference or almost no difference between vocation and profession. Doctor, lawyer, CA are examples of profession, whereas actor, singer, photographer are all examples of vocation. Now vocation also has become your profession. Right? So if you see Sadhguru, then if you see Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Nityananda, all these people, is that their vocation? Yes, it's their true calling, because of which they went into helping other people get their spiritual awakening. But is it part of their business now? Yes. It will never run without business, guys. You wanted to sell, right? Obviously, it's fine. I mean, it's not wrong. Right? Very, very simple. So that's all part of the deal. So if you go to anything, for example, Sadhguru thing, he speaks about the Rudraksh. And once you, the entire, I had attended one just to see how it goes. So 10,000 people were there. So Sadhguru also was there. He spoke about some Rudraksh, etc. Rudraksh Mala, the importance of it and the power that it has. No problem. So when we went out, they were selling that. So the thing is, you listen to him and you buy. I mean, is it wrong? Of course not. How will he run Nisha Foundation? You have to run, right? So what I'm trying to tell is, the vocation definitely has a true calling to create that spiritual awakening. If you have gone to Coimbatore Isha Foundation, there is something called Dhyana Linga. You just go sit there, there is power. Definitely, there is a lot of vibration and positive vibes. Now that he created, and its entry is free. Now that he created obviously to enlighten people and to get that spiritual awakening among us. But does it mean that is not doing business? You have to run. There is an Isha shop where every item is sold at 3x, 4x of the time. That's how you need money to run the entire ashram. So that's the merging of vocation and business. That's what I'm trying to tell. So it's the same. So vocation is very much part of the profession. There's nothing wrong in it. Everything is PGBP. Yeah. So that is what I'm trying to tell. Then if you see method of accounting that we use. Okay, some more things. Now, you will work on your client. Some important thing is there. You will work. He is extremely happy. So he has a watch, 1 lakh rupees watch. He is so happy that you win the case for him that he just removes the watch and gives it off to you. Is that vocation, or is that business? Whatever you earned a 1 lakh rupees watch. Is that business or profession? Income. Yes. Income, nowhere it says profits and gains realized in cash. Correct? If you see again, here only in the introduction we saw. There you go, profits and gains. Nowhere it says it has to be realized in cash. So yes, if anybody hands over anything to you, right, definitely it is taxable. So even a watch that is given to you, taxable. So you work for a travel, what do you say, basically you are consulting for a travel agency. There is some income tax raid that has happened in the travel agency. A lot of cash is being found, and then eventually you will go and help them. It's a criminal case. You win the criminal case. That guy will give you an all expense paid trip to Scandinavia, where you can see the northern lights. That will cost, or actually the Arctic region, 12 lakh rupees package. He will give it to you free. Is that profit and gains? Yes. So it is not just in cash, but also in kind. Anything that you receive the profit definitely will come under PGBP. No questions asked, because it uses the word profits and gains. It never says profits and gains realizable or realized in cash. Anything in kind also, yes. But ultimately there has to be a nexus or a connection. Without a connection, it will not happen. There has to be a connection to the business. So if a chartered accountant is receiving a watch as a gift for the work that he has done, there's definitely nexus to the business. So yes, PGBP will come. I told you that I have to go to Ahmedabad in a couple of days. Now he will say, sir, you only book the flights and later I will reimburse, sir. So I'll book the flight, I'll book the hotel and all those things. Let's say my fee is 1 lakh and then reimbursement is some 30,000. Is that 30,000 also PGBP? What do you think? Online people, you also respond. Is 30,000 also PGBP? Reimbursement? Is it income? I spent, I got the money back. Ideally, he should have booked. Or let's say he only books. So he gives me 1 lakh. And then 30,000 worth he gives me these other things. Stay and all those things. So those things are not PGBP. That is an expense which is incurred for him in connection with the business. He has to pay me 1 lakh. He has to pay 30,000 to the to organize the entire thing. So that is definitely not PGBP. On the other hand, if I have spent money and I have I received that for any my skill? No. Flight ticket, is it because of my skill as such? No. What work I do, for that money you will pay me anyway. This 20, 30, 10,000, that tickets, etc. will not be what? PGBP. Reimbursement is not. So whatever I'm telling is all based on decided cases and all that. That's why we get to even get examples by reading those cases. So there's one case where the reimbursement also the assessing officer claimed it to be a PGBP. He said no, it's not. Right. So ultimately, if I'm making any voluntary payment, there has to be, as I told you, a nexus. So if I pay 1 lakh worth of watch to a lawyer, there has to be a nexus. On the other hand, think about it. There was one more case. There was a client, a slightly old client and a chartered accountant, and they had a relationship, professional relationship for almost around 15-20 years. The client practically thought that this guy is his son. True story. So he was doing all his work. Of course, every time he was being paid and all that. But they also maintained a very good professional relationship, and eventually they have a personal relationship also, because almost like a father-son relationship, because he was helping him through other problems. This old guy died. In the will, property worth 1 crore, he gave it up to the CA. Assessing officer took it as PGBP. Issue went to court. What do you think? Was there nexus? Did he get that 1 crore because he worked as a CA, or was it because of a personal relationship that they built? So this went to the court in one of the cases. Court said, no, whatever he's doing is what? There is only what? Personal relationship. Is it business? No. For the work that he has done, if he has given like 1 watch or 1 property, that is. So some of the CAs here also take that. They work for real estate people and very smart CAs. What they do, they'll not take fees. They'll take 1 flat. That's all. Architects and all, they'll take 1 flat. Okay, boss, I'll design your entire house. You give me 1 flat. I don't want money. That's no. Because that flat will appreciate. Money, if you give, it will not appreciate unless you invest it wisely. They took 1 home. So that home at the time of construction was 1 crore. Now it's 3 crore after 10 years or something. That's all. So nexus must be there. So in this particular case, there's no nexus at all. Some random guy just gave it because of the personal relationship that he had with you. There is no nexus. Got it? So that's what it is. And I told you an isolated venture also is PGBP. Now there is this in Munnar, there is one flower that blooms called Neel Kurinji. Kurinji flower comes once in 12 years only. People from across the world go to Munnar to see that Kurinji flower. Now you, since it's once in 12 years only, you will organize a trip from Bangalore to Munnar to have to photograph the entire thing in that Nilgiri area and take this photos and etc. of the Kurinji flower. And you get to have Kurinji fragrant perfumes, all that they'll do only during the time, once in 12 years. Is it business? Yes. You are organizing the trip once and maybe you will never do it again. This time you are doing. Is it also business? Yes. Everything, as I told you, is business. No questions asked. Everything will be business. Now, if an employee is getting car, driver, servant, electricity connection, is that business? No. If an employee is getting it, it comes under income from salary. That will be his perquisite. So if an employee is getting car, driver, gas connection, quarters, servants, etc., that will be a perquisite, taxable under the head salary. Taxable under the head salary. On the other hand, if you are working in the company as a consultant and they are giving you car, driver, gas connection, quarter, servant, etc., then it will become PGBP. There are many freelance consultants. They'll say, I will not work for you at all. I will pay all these things. I will give all these things. So is it a consultancy? Yes. That will be part of the deal. Now this Unacademy was there. So they hired faculty, one as full-time employees, second as consultants also. And that's why they paid so much everybody that company shut down only. The CA wing they shut down. Others also they're not doing well. It's a huge failure, Unacademy. So yes, same with Byju's, unfortunately. Unicorn, once upon a time, right? Yes. So if you see consultant, again PGBP. So there in Unacademy, etc., they were giving extra stuff. Apart from the money, they were also giving some other benefits. Now, as an employee, if you get, then income from the perquisite salary. But if you're getting it as a consultant, then it will be PGBP. So ultimately, I need to see whether it's a contract of service or contract for service. If it's a contract for service, it will be PGBP. If it is a contract of service, then it is employment. So for this, I need to study the contract. There they would have clearly mentioned this is a contract of service or contract for service. If it's a contract of service, it's different. For service, it is different. Very simple. Now, what about this? There's a builder. Builder has taken money from you, advance, 1 lakh rupees towards the building. And then clearly the terms are written that if you do not proceed or whatever within so and so days, that whatever you have paid is non-refundable. Non-refundable deposit to block the property you have paid. Anyway, now RERA has come and told non-refundable you cannot take. But anyway, let's assume that it's a non-RERA property. If it is 8 flats and above, you should go for RERA. Let's say 6 flats only. Anything more than 8, sorry, exactly 8, no RERA. So it's an 7 flat property. You have booked an amount by paying some 10 lakhs and you have signed the deal very clearly, non-refundable. Now it does not go through. That money you will credit. Is it, what do you think, PGBP or not for the builder? Or is it capital receipt not taxable? What do you think? Revenue or what? So the court held, since it was a non-refundable deposit which was forfeited, it was a capital receipt not taxable. Did you take it as income? No. You just took it as a deposit but non-refundable. That's why all these people were starting to do this only. That's why RERA came and said nothing doing, no non-refundable stuff. You should take only up to 10% refundable and beyond 10% you should have an agreement. Right. Anyway, so basically I'm just saying various cases. This will be termed as a non-refundable deposit, which will be termed as a capital receipt. Even now it happens. That's why if smaller builders should be very careful about it. But that's all. It's a capital. It's an income, but it's in income tax. It is a capital receipt, which is not taxable. It's not your income under PGBP, because it will only be taken as income if the house is allotted towards you and the work is beginning to happen along with it. Otherwise, it's not. That's what it is. Contentious issue. That's the reason why RERA also came, where they said you cannot take it as capital. It will be revenue only. Now you had a series of buildings which you were using for tourism purposes. It happened during COVID. All these agents, etc., were sitting in that particular place. And during COVID, the entire tourism industry went for a hit. So the question here is, if those tourism spots, rooms, were converted to hospitals, it was actually converted in some parts. So now, is that still business? Yes, because you have changed the nature now, temporarily. It's temporary until COVID. So even these temporary installations or temporary change in business also will be business. Just giving you a lot of examples just to understand what is business, what is not. Now, there is something called as key managerial personnel of a company. CEO, CFO, MD, all these people are called key manager. All these people are called key managerial person. Now, the company takes insurance in their name. If they die, company should be protected. Or if they commit fraud, company should be protected. So they pay something called as premium. Now, is that premium an expense for the company? Obviously. That will be a 10-year policy, 5-year policy, whatever the case may be. Now, after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, once the company receives back that money, because they will get some sum assured. Sum assured is received by whom? It can be received by the KMP also, key managerial person, or it can be received by the company, both. Because I'll be taking in your name, you'll also get some money, bulk amount, company also will get some money because they're paying the premium. Question is, that receipt when you get, is it taxable? I took the policy in your name because you are working for the company in the company. You are a key managerial person. Now I'm going to change that. What do you think? In the sense I'm getting you, you'll get the money now. You're getting that money. So much money you're getting. So is that, what do you say? Taxable or not? Tell me, guys. Tell me, is it taxable or not taxable? So, you see, the insurance premium earlier, premium paid by the company earlier, premium paid, so Rahul says not taxable, Swaminathan says taxable, Srividya says taxable. Others, come on, answer. Right, so if you see, insurance premium received, premium paid by the company, obviously, premium paid by the company is what? Always debited to P&L account. No change in that. Surrender value, for example, if there is no fraud, surrender value. So employee or the KMP will get the surrender value. Earlier it was exempt under 1010D. And if there is any fraud, company receives the claim amount. There is fraud, sum assured was 1 crore, company receives 1 crore. Is it taxable? Earlier it was not. So a few years ago they changed. The current scenario looks like this. If premium paid by company debited to P&L account, it remains the same, there is no change. Which means what? Will it be debited to P&L account? Yes. On the other hand, if there is a fraud case, earlier it was not taxable. Now it is very much taxable under 28(6). They have inserted a provision where they say that anything that you claim receives claim amount, that will be explicitly taxable under 28(6). It was not there, they have inserted now. So if you receive 1 crore from them, from the insurance company, will it be taxable? 100% yes. On the other hand, surrender value receipt from whom? The employee. Surrender value received by the employee. It was earlier exempt under 1010D. Now here, if you are receiving it as an employee, it is taxable as salary. If you are receiving it as a consultant, section 28 says now it is taxed under which head? PGBP. So if you are receiving it as an employee, salary, receiving as a consultant, then it is taxed as PGBP. If you are receiving it as an honorary chairman, if you are receiving it as an honorary chairman, that will come under IFOS, income from other sources. If you are receiving it as an employee, taxed as salary. If you are receiving it as a consultant, then it is taxed under the head PGBP. And if it's honorary chairman means IFOS, income from other sources. Which one? That's what. If there is nothing, no problem. They haven't had any fraud, 5 years over, now you are exiting the company, they'll pay you that surrender value. So if basically it's like, sum assured, 5 years, if any fraud happens, this amount will be given. No fraud happens or you don't die, then this amount will be given, surrender value. So since I've taken it for the protection, when you are receiving that money, it is taxable. Specifically inserted on 28 now. It was not. If the section was silent, then you could have said it's not taxable. But they have now inserted it. Basically, the government wants everything. They say it's taxable because that's for your own benefit we had taken. Now you have taken the benefit. It's actually fair because 5 years benefit you took, no? Now you are getting the money, so pay tax on it. If, for example, if something had happened, you would have got that money. Or the company I'm paying the money. Now it is that protection I'm giving you every single year. Now you're getting the benefit of that protection by paying money, so pay tax on it. I'm not asking you for the full money, pay tax. The money you keep. That's the logic, right? Yeah. So this is what it is. Earlier it was exempt. So maybe you can just take a picture of this. So see. Yes, Srividya is asking a question. The surrender value is received by family members. Will it be IFOS? Yes. So if you are getting as an employee, taxed as salary. You're getting as a consultant, taxed as PGBP. You're getting as an honorary chairman. For example, Narayan Murthy. Narayan Murthy of Infosys is not a chairman now, he's just an honorary chairman. Chairman emeritus. Just for this, because he started the company as a position of respect, they're giving him the, the tag of chairman. He doesn't go there. Here and there he goes. So yes, that money that he receives now will be IFOS, income from other sources, if at all he receives. Which one? Yeah, if you are honorary chairman, if you are working full time, it depends on how you are working. If you're just nomenclature as chairman, but you're doing everything else, then it is obviously PGBP. But as a yeah, no, as this section 28 it will come. But if you are not working, then this. That's what happened, no, earlier when Vishal Sikka was there. Vishal Sikka and Narayan Murthy fought over this only. He was actually honorary chairman, was interfering in the work. Vishal Sikka said, boss, it's not done. You either allow me to do or you do. So they fought. They resigned. Said, no, it's not going to work because you are just interfering everything in whatever I'm doing. So that's how it came. Because you are just an honorary chairman. Or I know you started the company, but it's a separate legal entity. That's what happened. That's what, because it's taken in his name. Correct. It depends. In any KMP thing, if I will take it in your name, who will pay on behalf of whom? Company will pay on behalf of the employee, on the behalf of the KMP. So ultimately, it's your benefit only. I'm giving it for my benefit also. I'm taking it for your benefit also. Like if you die or if anything happens to you, that amount you will get. Either it is the final value or surrender value, or whatever it is. Yes. Claim can be received by company also. Claim will be received by employee also. Depends on the agreement. Yeah. Correct. It depends. That's what. It depends on the agreement. Any payment received by the company, taxable. Any payment received by the employee, taxable. Simple. Whether it's surrender value, whether it is claim value, whatever it is. Surrender value happens when you don't have to, when you have not claimed it. But if you have actually claimed it, then it's claim value. Any amount received by the employee or the company is taxable. It was not earlier. Many court cases were there. Now they said nothing doing, it is taxable. They inserted specifically under 28. They use the same wordings. Any key manager, let me show you. Let us open section 28. If you are an employee, then yes, definitely. Here, any sum, they don't care about it. You call it surrender value, you call it claim, anything. Any sum received under Keyman, including the sum allocated by way of bonus. See, that also they have told. They have given bonus because you didn't claim, no claim bonus they have added for the next 2 years. And you have added, got that money. Either they have added to the policy or they'll give you separately. That also is taxable. Earlier it used to be exempt under 1010D. That exemption is removed. Definition is still coming from what? Keyman insurance policy. Here it is removed. Have you ever wondered that if a partner is receiving salary from a partnership firm, is it PGBP or salary? That's what a partner is receiving salary from partnership firm. Is it income from salary or PGBP? Share of profit, etc. That's separate. I'm asking only salary portion. It is not income from salary. It is correct, Karthik. It is income from PGBP. Specifically, they have inserted that any payment received by partner is PGBP, including interest, salary. Even if you name it salary, it is PGBP. Because earlier it was getting confused, a lot of confusion used to be there. Now they have cleared it very clearly. Now it is what? PGBP. Yes, there's no difference between partner and partnership firm. That's why they are given that logic. So salary, commission, bonus, interest received from partner or partnership firm is what? PGBP. And until November 24, there used to be no TDS. Because have you ever deducted TDS in a partnership firm when you're paying it to the partners? Never. So even though there is salary, 192 doesn't come. Section 1 TDS section will not come. But guys, May 25, November 25 examination. They have inserted a clause. Actually, it is still not applicable, but we have to study that. It's part of the syllabus. So they have inserted a TDS section. In Finance Act 24, a TDS section has been inserted. That we will see in TDS. So what? When you are paying to the partner any amount, should the partnership firm deduct TDS? Yes. All that. Let's see now one by one. I'll come to chargeability. First one we have done, guys. Page number B1. Now, method of accounting. Then I'll come to chargeability. One by one we'll discuss. Chargeability. Before that, method of accounting. The SSE follows which method? Accrual system of accounting. Due basis shall be adopted for charging income and allowing expenditure. On the other hand, if the SSE follows cash system, then it is receipts and payments basis. Can he do hybrid and do both? No. There are certain provisions apply independent of the method of accounting. Certain preliminary expenses, voluntary retirement expenses, etc., though incurred in 1 year, deduction and income tax is spread over a period of 5 years. So, method of accounting can keep on changing. So, the SSE is entitled to change the method of accounting regularly, but it cannot keep on shifting. Once year this, once year that, no. For a casual period, for 7 months, one period, 6 months, other period, not allowed. Where an SE has more than one business, different methods of accounting can be followed, no problem. Where the SSE is following the mercantile system of accounting, central government has notified the income computation and disclosure standards for the purpose of computation of PGBP. Where the AO is not satisfied about the correctness or completeness of the accounts, then income should be computed as per, yes. Then AO will make a best judgment assessment. If you have not followed the ICDS or if you have followed a different thing, then the assessing officer will compute. So one of the examples is one of the cases when I was doing articleship. It was a international school. Now international school, the fees for the full year you will receive in March because April onwards the academic year begins. So when I receive the amount in March, should I take it? Let's say I received it on 31st March 24. Should I take it for 23-24 or 24-25? Yeah, so ideally I should see accrual means 23-24. Sorry, payment basis 23-24. But if it's accrual system, that is for the next year. Advance I should take. These fellows were doing hybrid system. Whenever they felt like doing, they were doing cash system. Whenever they felt, okay, no, we'll do accrual system. So we had handled the case. But I'm talking about when 2010, when I was doing articles many years ago. That time there was no faceless and all those things. So the adjustment happened via what? Percentage. You know, if you know what I mean. Right? Percentage, they settled on what amount to pay to that assessing officer and closed. Right? But can you, basically he actually called us for this only. He is saying, boss, one time you're doing hybrid, hybrid you have used, one time accrual, one time cash, whatever you feel like doing, you're doing. Our boss was awesome. Tell me, sir, how much you'll take, direct. So there's a saying, no? I mean, that was 10 years ago. May not apply now, but still it will apply in many cases. What's the difference between a good CA and a great CA? Good CA knows the Income Tax Act in and out. Great CA knows the income tax officer. That's all. That's the difference between good and great. Yes, correct. In the calculator they show. You're right. That's true. In the calculator they used to show. Very simple. So my boss was one of the greatest CAs ever. If you talk about good and great, he was greatest. So he knew everything. But of course now he's still handling search and seizure cases. In Bangalore only, is very famous for that. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, that's all it is, because you should know how to talk to them and all that. But anyway, legally, if you go, all these things, AO should make a best judgment assessment. So a nationalized bank has followed mercantile system of accounting for bookkeeping as well as for income tax purpose. For income tax purpose, bank has consistently adopted a recognized method to value the stock. The assessing officer cannot interfere in, you should do like this, you should do like that. No. If it's well within ICDS and whatever is possible and whatever is to be done correctly, then it's okay. No issues. Anyway, come to chargeability one by one. According to section 28, following income shall be chargeable to tax under the head profit and gains of business. General, first one. Profit and gains of any business carried on by the SSE at any time. That's all, even once. Mr. Karim sold toys for 25 days in the previous year. Income from such activity shall be income from business. Chapter close. One item, that's also business. The value of any benefit or perquisite arising from the business. Convertible into money or not? For example, I have given you a loan. Tomorrow I will waive the loan. I'll say, okay, don't pay the loan. You are taking that money. Let's say it's a credit for the, basically you've got some goods. So I've given you some credit terms, trade advance. And then later I'll say, okay, boss, it's okay, you don't pay back, no problem. Is that income for you? Waiver of a loan is a benefit. But is it a benefit in cash or kind? In kind. So is the benefit in kind, is it income for you? Because I have waived the loan. It can be a trading loan, whatever it is, I have waived it. Let's say in PGBP, let's take trading loan, trading advance. I waived it off. Okay, man, leave it, no problem. Keep it. So that money that you're receiving, which is waived off, already received, is it an income or not? It's a benefit for sure. So this went to court, and Supreme Court had in Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. 2018, they said that this waiver of loan is not taxable in the hands of the borrower. Deadly. Because the wordings were what? Convertible into money or not is one part, and then it said in cash, or it said, or in kind. But in Mahindra case, it was partly in cash, partly in kind. Because I gave you money, little bit the business happened, there was exchange, and then the remaining part was waived off. So Mahindra and Mahindra said it should either be in cash or in kind. Partly and all is not covered. Mahindra and Mahindra Limited won the case, Supreme Court. Is it correct or wrong? Income Tax Department could not take it. So Finance Act 23, they changed it to what? Cash or kind or partly in cash, partly in kind. Check this. So now even waiver of loan, is it taxable in the hands of the borrower? Yes. Waiver of loan, where some benefit is taken, some benefit is not taken, waiver of loan is also very much taxable in the hands of the borrower. Convertible into money or not, in cash or in kind, or partly in cash, partly in kind. Client gifted a CA to a CA gold ring. Yes, taxable. Honorable Supreme Court in the case of Mahindra held that section 28(4) of the Income Tax Act is applicable only in the case of non-monetary benefits, and waiver of loan will not be taxable in the hands of the borrower. Therefore, White Finance Act 23 When amended to clarify that provisions of said clause also applies to cases where benefits have been provided in cash or kind or partly cash, partly kind. Awards received by a professional shall be chargeable under this section. Yes, Arjuna Award, Khel Ratna Award, right? Man of the series, man of the match. I'll get one car. What do you think? Taxable or not? Players. Yes. They are doing a profession, right? Definitely yes. However, if non-professionals receive awards, shall be in the nature of gift or personal testimony and will not be liable to tax. Right? Non-professionals, they receive awards, nature of gift or personal testimonial. So, there is a lady called Salu Marada Timmaka. So, what she does is, she has planted trees for kilometers together. Is she a professional? No, she just did it to help the environment. She has been conferred with many awards by state government, central government also. That money, whatever, she would have got some money, 10,000, 20,000. Is that PGBP? Is that IFOS? Later we'll see. Is it PGBP? No. Will not be liable to tax. Again, see, it's a circular. Circular are internal documents given to whom? AO. They'll tell the AO, bro, you see, for these people you charge, for these people don't charge. Now I have to read that to understand, okay, correct, this is the interpretation of the department, let's follow this only. Circulars are not binding on the whom? Circulars are not binding on whom? They are not binding on the assessee. Give a what? Okay. Yes. So if you receive any gift as a car, is it and I mean, because you bought certain things, right? So what is it? IFOS or PGBP? Lottery winnings. Not liable to tax under this section. So that's why. For that we need to see again one more thing. If the Act clearly says it's taxable, circular says it's not, what will prevail? Act. So for your thing, gift taxation, all those things, it is taxable. It is taxable under IFOS. Swaminathan has a doubt. Paramveer Chakra not taxable. Yeah. So there we'll have to see in IFOS. There are certain gallantry awards which are not taxable, which is rightly so. They have laid down our lives or either about to lay our lives and freely, and now I am giving them an award, again taxable? No. So certain gallantry awards will not be taxable. Movie, all this film fare, everything will be tax ban. Whatever money they'll receive, they'll have some cash award also, not just normal award. If you give one statue, then what tax? You can't tax that. Prize money, yeah, it is taxable for sure. Any national award, etc., prize money will be taxable. Idol, if they give, Nirmala madam will not take one part of the idol, is what I'm saying. 100% yes. Actors' vocation, and vocation is their profession. Movie actors are definitely, it's their profession. That's what is a thin line. There's no difference only now between what? Vocation and profession. If you see profession definition, it includes vocation. So actors, etc., definitely will come under profession. Sonu Nigam, he will earn money everywhere, concerts and all, he does. Yes. That is only for maintenance of books of accounts, not for everything else. The income tax doesn't say only these 5 items are profession. Everything. Maintenance of books of accounts, tax audit, they have specified. That's what I'm saying. Business and profession is a wide thing. One outside Pani Puri fellow will be selling Pani Puri. Isn't it BGBP? Yes. He's doing business. Definitely yes. Right? So, the word profession has not been defined only anywhere, including the Indian constitution is not defined. Profession is not defined. For example, to answer your question, internal auditor under company law. I keep going back to my subject. Correct. This also I've been teaching since a long time. I mean, I was working in income tax for a long time, but I somehow loved company law. So let me go back to that to give you a clarification, which is very relevant to our context. Internal auditor, can it be appointed by board of directors? Yes. Should it be a professional or should it be a random guy? Or BCom fellow also can it be appointed? Can a BCom fellow also be appointed as a internal auditor? Yeah, because it says CA, CS, CWA or such other professional. Other professional will be professional course or even a BCom guy. So professional is any professional because there's no definition of the word professional. Same logic will apply here also. Not necessary to be professional. Yes. If I want to look into the internal controls and the system controls, CA is not needed. Hire an engineer. Right? Yes. So this is what it is. You buy one two-wheeler, first 3 months free service. Is that also benefit, PGBP? Or let's say you will buy it as a fleet of your business. Like Ola car, you will also have Ola bikes. Or some bike company you will open. Three gadis you will buy. 3 months free service they are giving you. For you it's a benefit. PGBP? What do you think? Say this. Read. These are all I've added new stuff now. Read. Whether 28.4 will apply on free maintenance services received. Example, free service received on vehicle purchased by company. The word benefit or perquisite is different from consideration. If the recipient pays the consideration to obtain something, it is not a benefit or perquisite. I've already added on everything. No, they will say free service. It's not free. Already would have paid in the cost actually. The operation and maintenance of services cannot be considered as free supply. The supply of two goods or services for the price of one cannot be treated as a benefit or perquisite. It is not a benefit. I've already bundled it in the main product only. Then of course yes. Nobody provides that, but if something like that, then yes, for sure. Lifetime free service and all, definitely yes. So 1, 2 done. One by one we are going. All this is charging section. So we are doing what? Full 28 like this, one by one. Same here also, it's MC, any business. Same thing I've given guys. I've given the Bare Act only copy paste, but with highlighted the important points and examples. So just stick to this, more than sufficient. Now, there is a section called 35 AD where I can purchase capital assets for specified businesses, warehousing, then manufacture of certain things, hotel, all those things. Now, even though I am buying a capital asset, it will be allowed to be debited to P&L account. That's the best part. So it will be deemed to be revenue expense. So even if I buy a 1 crore asset, it can be fully debited to P&L account directly. No questions asked. Now my question is, when I am selling off that asset, see I have bought a asset worth 1 CR, I have debited to P&L account. Tomorrow I am selling off that asset. I am receiving 10 lakh rupees. Is that 10 lakh rupees PGBP? What do you think? Logically, yes. Because I debited 1 crore. Now I am receiving 10 lakhs. When I am debited 1 crore, profit has reduced by 1 crore. Today I am receiving 10 lakh. It is PGBP. Very simple. Because it's already been debited to P&L account. Debt to a capital asset debited to P&L account. Check point number 3. Read guys. Online people, hope there's no doubt. If there's a doubt, let me know. Read. So any sum received or receivable in respect of capital asset other than land, goodwill, financial instruments. Because guys, in 35 AD, land, goodwill, financial instrument are not covered. You cannot take that. So that's why they have used it. Anyway, when you do 35 AD, you will understand. Which has been discarded, demolished, destroyed, transferred, whatever it is. And then if the expenditure has been allowed as reduction and you receive some money today, then taxable. Makes sense. When you have allowed that debit, then obviously you should be given this also. Right. Income of any trade, professional or similar association from specific services performed to the members. So there is Karnataka State Chartered Accountants Association. It is there actually. It is a body registered with almost 4,000 plus members. They keep doing lot of seminars, etc. And you have to pay them. They'll organize seminars in 5-star hotels and all those things. But in the end, they will get some money. It's basically principle of mutuality where all of us will pump in the money, become members, and using that money only they will give some benefit. Apart from that, there are also offices of KSCA where I can hire their rooms for conducting. Let's say today I want to conduct a class, I can hire the rooms. Of course, I have to pay for it. Now, the thing is that will become their income of that particular entity. Are they providing common services or they providing specific services? In this case, specific services. Common service is what? I'll pay them membership every month and they will organize many seminars. That's it. That's normal service. But some special paid seminars will be there. That specific service. Or they will allow me to use their network. And I'll pay for it specifically. Specific service. Now, is that income of that trade organization? Yes. Or is that a professional organization? Yes. Is it an income? Yes. So income of any trade, professional or similar association from specific services performed for its members. Right? Income of any trade, professional or similar association from specific service performed for its members. Section 28(3). What is the specific services? As I told you, hiring their room, giving their room on hire for 3-4 days for you want to do an articleship trading program. Articleship trading program. Your office is a little crammed up. You have some 30 articles, small cubicles. They're sitting there. You cannot train them there. You want a classroom like this. KSC has a classroom like this. You'll hire them for 3 days. Yes, definitely specific for services. Is it their income for them? Yes. Earlier, no, they were telling it's not income and all that. Because they're telling it's a principle of mutuality. They said nothing doing. Normal provisions, if you do, you take money, give them service, okay. That's everyone, you're pulling in the money and they're giving them, that's okay. But boss, this specifically are giving these services. So that's why these are the keywords, specific services. That's why we have designed it like that, so that when you're reading only, automatically the mind will see the color, brain will see the color and understand this is a keyword. For section 28(3) to apply, association should have rendered specific service to its members and remuneration is paid. There must be connection between services and remuneration paid. Connection must be there. Only then it will come here. Just read this point. Page number B4, this point. 7, already discussed, but just check. Please read. Yes. Next. And what about this smuggling activity? Is that also PGBP? Yes. There is no distinction between what you are doing, etc. Everything will be PGBP for sure. No questions asked. Let's read this point now. Point number 5. Compensation. Compensation. Any compensation or other payment due or due to or received by a person. Is this speed okay? Yeah. Online people, pace is okay? Because I want you guys to be comfortable. Yes. The batch is for you. I can go full fast also, full slow also. I can change the pace. Let me know. Is it okay, all of you? Face to face people are fine. You guys tell me. Others, come on, everyone respond, guys. Okay. Because these are important areas you need to slowly understand. I mean, I don't think so I should go faster than this, but if you want, sir, it's little slow, go fast, I'll go fast. Sir, it's little fast, go slow, go slow. Batch is for you, don't worry. That's why I've taken till that end I told you, I extended, because I want all of you to be comfortable. Any compensation or other payment due or to received by a person in connection with termination or modification of terms and conditions of any contract relating to his business. Right? So, as I told you, many cases, capital receipts were never taxable. Lot of case laws where the department lost the case because capital receipt was not taxable. So, to end that, they have inserted this section. If you see, as a rule, no capital receipts can be brought to tax until and unless specifically included in the charging section. Therefore, compensation which were held by the courts to be of capital nature have been specifically brought within taxation ambit through this particular clause 28(2). Termination or modification of the terms of conditions of any contract relating to his business. So, any compensation received, it is covered here. Let's see one by one. So, I'll just directly go to E to understand. One ABCD we'll see, don't worry. Point number E. Any person by whatever name called at or in connection with the termination or the modification of the terms and conditions of any contract relating to his business. Modification of the terms and conditions of the contract relating to his business. So, compensation with respect to termination or modification of the contract. Now, example, I'm a cement manufacturing company. This happened in Saurashtra Cements. Yeah, Rahul, if it is not in PGBP, then it may go to capital gains. We'll see that. For that, you have to understand what is the capital asset and all those things. That was his question. Right. So, I am Saurashtra Cements. I have a contract with you for supply, etc. of cement and all those things. You have to supply the cement, etc. And if you delay, because it's a time bound thing, so cement, etc., you have to, for manufacture, I need construction. If you don't supply within time, I will cancel the contract and you need to pay me 1 crore penalty. That's it. That was a deal. These fellows delayed. Contract got cancelled and they demanded 1 crore. Let's say I received 1 crore. Is that 1 crore taxable? If you just think about it, it's a purely capital receipt, not taxable. Did I do any business? Was it utilized in the business? No. It was just a penalty clause, 1 crore. That's why you see, any person, what is this? Capital compensation due or to received by a person in connection with termination of the contract relating to his business. Any person by whatever name called at or in connection with the termination or modification of the terms of any contract relating to his business, any money that he receives will be taxable under PGBP. So you see this example. Saurashtra Cement Supreme Court decision. Supplier had told the SSE, if there is any delay, I will terminate, and 5% is 1 crore penalty. Compensation received on termination was deemed to be taxable. Deemed to be taxable. Yes, that's the next point. There is no termination, but for delay you are paying. Second one, good, same thing is here. See, A has told B, if there is a delay, you have to pay 10 crore compensation. Contract is not affected. So that 10 crore, is it taxable or not taxable? Obviously, that would be a capital asset, capital receipt, not taxable. Why? Because you see here wordings. Termination of the contract. Modification of the contract. Am I terminating my contract? No. Am I modifying? No. Contract was already there. Modification of the contract related to business. Only then it is compensation. If I joined in, let's say, an academy and they're paying me 1 crore and they say that you should teach the whole of the country, you should go and teach everywhere. Just an example. So, okay, no problem. Tomorrow they will say contract is terminated. I will put a penalty clause. Terminate my contract without giving me proper notice or without following the rules, 10 crore penalty. Just saying, 10 crore penalty. That penalty when I receive, is it taxable? Yes. Second, they'll modify. They'll say you should only now stick to South India. Don't go to North India. I'll say, boss, you told me full India. Now you are depriving me of that particular opportunity, and I'm working for you exclusively. That clause also I would have mentioned. Will insert. You are now modifying. I will clearly, if the contract above is modified, you will have to pay me a penalty of 50 lakhs. Now is that again modification of the terms? Yes. Because you have modified the contract. The contract was what? Whole of India. Now you are changing the contract to South India. I am saying, okay, you change, no problem. But you pay me penalty, compensation for that. Yes. Makes sense. But in this case, contract is not getting affected. In this one more example that I told you. Saurashtra Cement, they said contract will not be in the same Saurashtra Cement only if they said there is no termination of the contract. But penalty, and that's a normal penalty clause. No. Am I terminating the contract? No. Am I changing the contract? No. I'm just breaching the contract. So for that, that's a capital receipt, not taxable. Which one? How? Huh. 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 Yeah, they can terms you can change, but then again it is later you have to prove there. They will definitely send you a notice. Suddenly 1 crore extra if it has come, they'll send you a notice, explain. Then again it goes to the thing, appeal, all that same thing. So read between the lines. It all depends on how you word the contract. That's why wording the contract is of utmost importance. You cannot have any loose ends or other reasons, etc. All that. Like recently, I do some RERA case also. Recently, when just to see how to read between the lines, they are just told that if there is any delay, because in RERA you have to pay back the thing and pay interest also. So interest will be the same rate that you will collect interest from. Which means if the customer does not pay money on time, they will charge, let's say, some 18% interest. Reverse, if I have paid money, you have not given me the house on time, you need to pay me same interest. But there nicely they have told, if because delay or any other reasons. I told boss, what is other reasons? No, that delay, other reasons means what? You have told delay due to force majeure events like earthquake, typhoon, hurricane. That in Bangalore where hurricane will come. So I told other reasons means what? Please clarify. Other reasons can be tomorrow you can say supplier didn't supply. I will tell other reasons. So please, so that other reason. So you should be very, very careful about the terms and conditions of the contract. That is of utmost importance. It cannot be one-sided. Right? So you can play around with the wordings and you can still ensure that it's not taxable. That is your smartness. As simple as that. Which interest? Yeah. Oh, everything is taxable. It will come under IFOS. You are correct. But the thing is, are you doing business? Normal customer buying a house. Are you doing business? No. So interest received will be IFOS for you. You are a normal salaried employee. You buy a house. They don't give you the house on time. You get the interest portion 18% IFOS. Then yes, definitely. Definitely, if it is, that's what contract is not getting affected means no problem. The contract is getting affected, then it will be taxable. That's why you should read between the lines and the wording should be proper. There are two dialogues that we have seen. One is termination of the contract. Second one is modification of the contract. What do you mean by modification? Modification means, according to decided case clause, three things. Discharge of the contract. Means either remission, new contract is coming in, alteration, novation. Novation means what? New contract is coming in place of the old contract, which means the old contract is fully modified. Nova means new. New contract is coming in place of the old contract. That is called novation. Yeah, of course. But that, whether it's allowed or not for the business, we'll have to see in 43B. When we come to PGBP 43B, we'll understand. MSME interest paid due to delay, is it allowed or not, first of all, as a business for you? And for the other person, MSME, that extra money that you are getting, is it taxable? It is taxable, 100%. So, discharge of contract, novation. Nova means what? Change, new contract is coming in place of the old contract. Alteration is changing the terms of the contract. So, parties may or may not remain the same. If parties remain the same, it's alteration. If new parties are coming in, it may be called as novation also. So A and B are entering into a contract. Now I will exit, A will exit and C will come, or A, B are already there, C also will come. This all happens in construction contracts. One builder will not be able to finish, so he will hire one more builder. So the contract will change. That will become alteration in the nature of novation. Novation means new contract. Alteration means existing terms I will change. Remission is what? Accepting lesser fulfillment of the promise. So here I will change the terms of the contract. If, for example, I have given a loan, let's say 1 lakh rupees at the rate of 10% for 3 years. Remission is accepting lesser fulfillment. I will either make it 80,000 loan at the same 10% for 3 years, or I will make 1 lakh loan and instead of 10%, I will charge a slightly lesser rate, 8% for 3 years. Here I am changing. Or I will keep it 1 lakh, I will keep it 10%, I'll give some extra time to pay. I'll make it 5 years. All these are examples of remission. Remission means accepting lesser fulfillment of the promise. Whatever promise you've already done, accepting lesser fulfillment of the same. So you see, modification, discharge of contract, remission, alteration, novation. Remission, alteration, novation. That ultimately the contract should either be terminated or the contract should be modified, either terminated or modified. Got it? So that is the thing. So that is 2E. Yeah. Done. So just take a short breather, 10-15 minutes max. and then we will continue, because once I start this, it will take, this entire thing will take minimum 40 minutes, 30-40 minutes. So then it will become too late for a break. I don't want to break the flow. 10-15 minutes, then we'll start, guys. So now we have to do all these things and finish the entire charging section. There are many other things which are there. We'll continue this and then move on to the real deal. All this very much applicable for the exam. With that initial 15 minutes that we spoke about, that is not, but all this, whatever, very, very important. So in the exam, we should see whether it's a business, taxable, not taxable, capital receipt, revenue receipt, and all those things. All right. So quick break, guys.